So this is the second test of the ELGAE video transmitter set. The main object of the exercise is to see what sort of range I can get out of it. So here we go. The first thing I notice is the light handling of the camera. The first test was on quite a sunny day about midnight, and it was pretty consistent, but I'm noticing now when I'm heading into the clouds with the sun behind them, the camera goes dark and it takes quite a while for it to adjust to it. It seems to be okay when you're going away from the sun, but as you turn back into it, everything darkens up. It's quite noticeable on the goggles. So the intention is to gain a bit of altitude and head out towards the mountain, which is about 3 kilometres away, and see how far I get before the video gives up. So I'm gradually putting on some altitude. I've got the T1000 autopilot limits the amount of pitch you can put on it, so it's not a real rapid climb up to altitude, but it's reasonable enough. Again, you can see the camera lightening and darkening as it depending on where it's actually pointing. So, but it's clear, so I'm not. It's not the end of the world. I'm looking to get up to about 300 metres, I think, to clear some of these foothills in the event that I do actually get a long way. So I'm up at my target height, and I've put the autopilot into heading hold mode, so it should maintain this heading until the video runs out or the radio gives out. Well, it looks like the radio is what's let me down. It seems to be slipping into return to home mode. I've had 3 or 4 goes at putting it back into manual and flying back towards the mountain, but about 1200 metres seems to be the limit of the radio at the moment, which is surprising. I've had it out to 2 kilometres before, but with a different plane, so I'll have to look at how my antennas are deployed. I am starting to notice a bit of video breakup. I'm pretty sure it's just because of the antenna I'm using. The pepperbox antenna is pointing down, so I think the plane is flying up above its optimum height, so I have a bit of a jiggle with it just to angle it up a bit more, and it seems to clear things up, so I'd blame the video breakup on the antenna array at this stage rather than the video, but yeah, I'm still pretty impressed. The light issues with the camera aside, it's doing okay. So I'm on the way home. I've got to lose this 400 metres, and again it's a slow process with the autopilot in it to lose that height, but it's just a little bit of patience required. So we're getting down to an altitude where I can start thinking about whether I'm going to land this with the headset or take it off. It's Still quite windy. The wind's blowing probably at 12 to 15 kilometres an hour, and it's blowing the poor little plane around a little bit. I did some practice landings manually earlier on, and it lands quite well if you can get the speed right. It's difficult to judge it from the on-screen display as to what's actually happening there. So this is a bit of a test run. There's another member madening a model at the moment, so I'm just going to fly down the strip and just see if I can get the speed right to give me a consistent approach. This is when the camera starts to get quite dark, and it's quite hard to actually line up, so we'll do another attempt. So this is attempt number 1 to land. I'm trying to guess what the speed I need to have is, given the wind. The ground speed doesn't really give me much of an indication, so, and then the camera goes dark again, and I just get a little bit nervous, and by the time it clears I'm past it. So here we go again. I'm coming in from a lot further out, trying to get the speed right, and again, going into the backlit clouds has just made it all quite dark. I'm trying to keep straight, hoping it'll lighten up when I get closer to the past the dam, because it might be that's setting it off. But so it does actually lighten up, but I've got too slow, I think, and I'm wandering all over the place, and by the time I bring it back to the strip I'm too high and just not comfortable, and I just decide I'll land the thing manually and look at the video later and see if I can pick up some clues as to how to go about it, because it lands fine by eye. So I flip it into return to home mode. It's a bit low, but I don't realise how low until I get the headset off and suddenly find the plane zipping past quite low. I hadn't added any extra throttle, I think that was the problem, so I give it a quick kick up the backside, and she takes off fine, and I go around and bring it in for a landing manually, which is no trouble at all. So and I noticed from the video that it hasn't gone dark, so I just don't really know what's going on with it. But anyway, that's the fun of new toys. You get to learn what's happening with them. So the good news is it's down in one piece, no damage. Disappointed in the camera at this stage, but I'll try it again on a sunny day. But worst case scenario, I need to switch it out to a CCD camera, and it'll probably be fine. I'm pretty happy with the range. It's gone out to 1 kilometre. I wasn't really expecting that, and it looks like it'll go further. I just need to sort out what's going wrong with my radio. I suspect the antennas could be deployed a little bit better, but yeah, it's still looking pretty good from where I'm standing at the moment. So hopefully it will get better.